How you doing, folks? Well, I wasn't actually going to do a video on this, but then I saw the state of play here when I went searching for a little more power from the van. Now, you'll see in the previous video we dynoed it in Auto Bay and did the hammer mod, and it was definitely driving a lot better. But, and here's the big but, right? We got 100 horsepower out of it. But the thing about it is for the fueling we were throwing into it, it should be given more. So I was like, there's definitely something up. It's not getting the air, even though it's getting the fuel now. And the boost pressure is showing up all right. So what's going on? Now you'll see the dirt in my face. That is dirt, oil and carbon from the inlet of the engine. Oh my God. You would want to see the shite I'm scooping from the inside of this engine. It's no wonder it can't breathe. And that is definitely our problem. Okay, let me show you first of all. We're just going to have a look at number 4 inlet port on the head. What I'm actually using for scooping the gack out is this gutter bolt, okay? If it would ever focus, there you go. And the reason being is because you don't want to push the dirt into the head. You want to actually scoop it out. So let's just stick it in there, okay? And we'll just scoop it once and there's one quick scoop. Okay, see, I'm kind of at the point now where I've got most of it out, but there's still a lot of gack in there, and that's just port number 4. Now that is definitely the worst one. I've actually tried the other ones, and they're not that bad, but it would explain the uneven running and starting issues and stuff like that as well too, and the fact that there's a lumpy idle, as if, you know, all the other cylinders are happy with the fueling they're getting, and then this one isn't. And it's like it's overfueling. So what we'll do is we'll keep going and try and get as much of that gack out of there, and then I'll run the engine and I'll spray some inlet cleaner in there and try and get the rest of the carbon out. Once I've got the kind of large parts out, then we'll be happier. There you go, that was the next scoop. You can see that amount of crap, and like as I said, I've been scooping away at this. Now the inlet manifold is just as bad, and that's taking a bit of cleaning. So what I've done is I'm soaking it in oven cleaner now, and I'm going to jet wash it out and try and clean it up. And if not, a bit of heat will have to be employed. So let's see how we get on with the inlet on the head first of all. This truly is a hateful job, folks. I can tell you that now. It's no fun whatsoever. But I'm looking at the bright side in that I found a massive problem with this engine, which was easy to put right. So, like if you look at the gobs of gack, all of that there is from the fourth cylinder inlet port, and a lot of the other big bits. And then there's other bits wrapped up in there as well too. But if we go and have a look underneath, I'll get my trusty lead lenser torch and have a look underneath. A trusty lead lenser with dead battery lying in a puddle underneath the van, which is always lovely. We will have a look. You can kind of get a bit of a look there now. So those ports are looking a lot happier now. They're not perfect, and to be honest with you, I'm not finished, so that's alright. But you can see there now, over in number 4, a lot of carbon in there as well too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep scraping away. Number 2 is pretty bad actually there as well too. So I'll keep scraping away, try and get a bit more of that shite out of there, because that's the technical term for this, is shite. And then what we can do is we can run the engine. Now it'll be alright running like this with no inlet manifold on for a few minutes, just while I spray the shite cleaner in, yeah, we'll hopefully come good. But no, it's nice to find the kind of the smoking gun here in all of this. I mean, definitely that was going to cause a major issue, without a shadow of a doubt. So let's I'm going to get up out of the puddle. I'm lying in a puddle. I'm looking forward to going in and having a shower after all this, I have to say, because it was not raining when I started the job. It certainly is now. Yeah, then we can put everything back together. I think I'll probably do that tomorrow, but through the miracle of editing, you'll never notice. Well, there's many ways to skin a cat, and this is just one of the methods used for cleaning all the gack out of the inlet manifold, which is not an easy job, it has to be said, and it is bloody disgusting. But yeah, you get a blowtorch and you basically you burn off all the shite inside it. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving that to burn out, and that should have it nice and clear. There'll be a little thin layer of carbon inside it afterwards, like just from the orange flames, but that I'm not too worried about. Can easily remove that, but yeah, you obviously don't want to get too hot as well too, because it is only aluminium. But yeah, the ports in the head I managed to clean out without having to subject the engine to undue stress by running it with the inlet cleaner and all that. So I scooped it all out, and a little brush, and I kind of brushed it out with the with a bit of petrol, so the petrol would evaporate. And you know, I mean, I was only brushing it when there was only small little particles left, and you know, I wasn't kind of flushing any major stuff down into the cylinders, if the valve was open. But yeah, so all we have to do now is refit this and see how it runs. I'm expecting improvements. It certainly can't be any worse anyway. I mean, this will definitely do no harm. You can see it's still burning away in there. No shortage of shite to be burned off in there. So yeah, we'll leave that burn, and then tomorrow I will pick this up when I will refit the manifold. The other thing I did, by the way, was I got some EGR cleaner. Or sorry, not EGR cleaner. What was it called? Airflow sensor cleaner. And I cleaned the airflow sensor. So there's my little Briggs engine waiting to be cleaned up next. That's another day's work. But yeah, so that's that got the treatment. I sprayed it 3 or 4 times anyway, just to try and remove all the crap from that, get it as good as possible. It's worth a shot as well too. So yeah, between this and the job I'm doing on the inlet, I think we'll see big improvements. What a disgusting, filthy job this has turned out to be, and I have to say, I hope I never have to do it again, because it's nasty. It really is. The gack and dirt and everything that was inside that manifold, it took me ages to clean it out. Even after burning it out, I actually went to the bother of investing in a parts washer for my garage, because I just thought to myself, I'm making a mess of the place. So yeah, take a look now. Well, there's the manifold now. It's as good as I'm going to get it, to be honest with you. And, you know, the ports are all free and everything now, and it's flushed out with water, and it's 100%. Well, let's say it's 90%, but it was about 10% before, so that's a hell of an improvement. But let's have a look here. I'll get my trusty Ryobi floodlight on the case. You have a look in underneath. That's the great thing about T25 vans, is that the engine is on its side, basically. So the manifold is on the bottom of the engine. But you can see in there now. I think that is what is commonly referred to as the job. So let's get that manifold refitted and see how it drives. Incidentally, this is the little parts washer I bought, which I have to say is a nifty bit of kit. I bought the brush separately, but normally it just has the little spout. You see, that's all the carbon that's left from the inlet manifold, even after I burned it all out and flushed it a few times and pressure washed it and everything. After getting it flushing it through with the parts washer again with suitable degreasing detergent and decarbonising detergent, it's definitely come good. So I'm a hell of a lot happier now. But I'll just turn that off now anyway, and focus on the van. Okay, so we're up and running now anyway. As you can hear that lumpy idle. That's basically because of how far we pushed the injector pump. Now I'm thinking with the amount of fuel that's been banged in there now, and hopefully the fact that it's going to be getting the air it needs, it should go seriously quick. So much so that I might actually just back off the pump a little bit to get it back to a normal idle. When I started it, it did. It definitely wasn't happy initially, but that's simply because of the fact that there was I think one of the valves actually got stuck open, to be honest with you. There was probably a bit of gack that got through or something like that, but hopefully that's blowing through. I did my best to try and clean it all anyway. Let's see how we go. Okay, as I've said, what I've done can't not make a difference. I mean, with the amount of shite that I pulled from inside the inlet manifold and everything as well too, it has to have had a positive impact. So let's get it out on the open road and see how we get on.
I would fully expect that where you'll feel the difference is in the upper ends of the rev range, simply because of the fact that, you know, the engine needs less air down lower. Okay folks, I think we might just be onto a winner. Let's get it out on the open road. I mean, it can be deceptive sometimes, you know, because that's first and second gear. It's up in power. But what I want to do is I want to blow all the shite out of it and just, you know, give it a good boot. I want to try and get out in front of this car, so we... Okay, we have a problem. Hang on. Shit on it. Feck it. Okay, it's definitely not happy. Clouds of smoke behind. Let's go through the estate a bit. Now there's more power again. Yeah, it was like the inlet valves were open, and if you heard the way it was cranking, it was kind of, it wasn't compressing on a couple of cylinders, so that's why it died. So it could be pulling in all sorts of shite from the manifold, but we just have to try and blow that out. Hopefully it'll just stay running for me. Let's see how we get on now. Yeah, okay. Well, we definitely have power now. I can hear the turbo more. The turbo's actually louder now. See, it's no crack at all trying to do this when you're stuck in traffic, you know. I mean, I need to be able to kind of accelerate hard. Yeah, okay. We're on to a winner, folks, definitely. It was definitely a good move to do this. Now, what I do think I need to do is, I think I need to back off the pump ever so slightly, but, and this is the big but, with the way it went before, and when I was over with Auto Bay, I'd be foolish to try it myself without putting it on that same dyno. Now, for the sake of the money it cost me, and yeah, it was expensive. Well, no, sorry, no, I tell a lie, it wasn't expensive. It wasn't as expensive at all for what I got. It was definitely, it was money well spent. Okay, I'm gonna bring it on a motorway. Actually, no, I'm not. What I'm trying to do is get the EGT up now, exhaust gas temperature. Burn out any crap that's in the engine, you know. I mean, stuff that's solid when it's cold might not be when it's hot. Carbon burns when it's hot enough. So keep the boost pressure up, but Jesus, the difference. Now, I finally feel why I bothered my arse doing this TDI conversion. Because it was not an easy job. But what I will say to you folks, if you're going to do a TDI conversion and you pick up a second-hand engine, take the manifold off. Clean out the shit from inside the engine, okay? Because you don't know the history, and even if you buy the car second-hand and it seems to be driving all right, still do it. When the engine's out on your garage floor, do it. I was a fool not to. And hindsight is 2020. I know that now. I mean, that I should have done it, but like, you know, I'm not a car mechanic. You know, I've done this basically by asking the right and sometimes the wrong questions, and you know, talking to the right and sometimes the wrong people, and figuring it all out as I went along. Now the engine is, the idle has settled down a little bit there now as well too. I am getting absolutely gassed because the in the process of doing the job I damaged the engine bay seal, and with the amount of smoke that the engine was pumping out there when it started to have a guineer some of that smoke got into the van, so window down even though it's lashing rain as per standard operating procedure in Ireland. But I want to get her onto full send. One of the other things I'm noticing as well too is there's just a little haze of smoke and I kind of go onto full power. But that's kind of where I want it. Actually, I'm kind of thinking I need to give it a good run. I'm going to drive it into work tomorrow. Get all the rest of the crap out of the engine. And then we'll see how we go. Okay, I want to do something of a 0 to 60 test here. There's a very slight uphill slope here. So, but if you remember back when I did this before, the 0 to 60 time was abysmal. Okay. 22 seconds. I think that's a hell of a lot better. Still not great, but you have to remember there was a bit of an incline there as well too. I'd say it probably would have been some 20 seconds. Put the window up now. But now the pull in 5th gear is there. You know, the drivability, the comfort of driving this is there. As well too is I need to make sure that there's no fault codes showing up now, because don't forget I had the MAF sensor taken out as well too, and I had run the engine without the MAF sensor connected and without the inlet on, and you know, maybe the engine is holding back still. I doubt it, to be honest with you, but performance, reliability and cost, you pick two. You don't get all three, basically. So, if an engine is expensive and reliable, if it's cheap and reliable, it's not going to perform. If it's cheap and performance, if you get cheap performance, it's not going to be reliable. And if you get performance and reliability, it's going to cost you a fortune. So, what have we got here? At one point we had none of them. So I think at this point in time I have performance and I might be getting close to having that balance of performance and reliability. It wasn't the cheapest engine conversion. The engine itself was cheap, but doing the conversion was definitely, well, it cost me about €3,000. Nice bit of grunts there now, and not a haze of smoke behind me. That's the thing. I don't want it to be smoking like a demon. So if we're getting the same amount of fuel in as before, right? The fueling is the same. I haven't touched that, right? And the engine's now getting more air. It can burn that fuel, so the smokiness will go away. You know, smokiness is when you have more fuel than the engine can burn. I mean, you can lash fuel into an engine, but if it can't get the air in to burn the fuel, it's going to get smoky. Incomplete combustion. Okay, so the engine seems to be performing all right now. Okay, it hasn't gone down to running on 2 or 3 cylinders again, or any of that carry on. Whatever, it obviously sucked through whatever croutons were there that were causing it a problem. Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll know what way the engine performs now when I drive it into work. But I think it's fair to say we're all right now. We're good. So I will I'll leave it there, and I'm going to say that that we're done. You know, the engine conversion is basically finished. So yeah, look, thanks for watching, folks, and I have some really interesting stuff coming up as far as video series are concerned. We're not going to flog a dead horse on this one as well too. Yeah, look, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for following me, following along with the progress of the van. And it's not the last you'll see of the van, of course. There's going to be other jobs to be done on it, but there's going to be a few trips in it as well too. But what we will do is we'll move on to other projects as well too. I have a 74 Beetle lined up that we have to do a will it run video on. It's been sitting up a few years, so I think it should be interesting. So look, thanks for watching, folks, and thanks for all your comments, your helpful advice, your you know, pointing me in the right direction. You guys know who you are. Thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you again soon. Please do subscribe to my channel. It does help and does support me. So I'll talk to you soon.